Good everybody, All Ball Podcast here. I'm Josh and this is Connor. Today we're going to be discussing all NBA topics because Connor is an MLB bot. We got our top 10 MLB teams going into 2021 on Wednesday. Before we get started, this video is sponsored by Calypso, the taste of the islands. Go get one at your local retailer.
Yeah, so to get into today's topics, the first one is the Suns. You think that they need to be talked about because they are the fourth team or the fourth best record in the West, and that also accounts for the whole league because the top four teams, I believe, right now are in the West.
Just one again,
which we'll talk about later because I personally have a fix to that. But they just beat the Timberwolves tonight. But we do need to talk about them because they've won how many?
now it's 11 of 13.
11. They've won 11 out of the last 13 games, and a lot of that is it's a culmination of everybody getting better, I'd say.
Yeah, it's good and it's good team chemistry.
Chris Paul really he did the same thing that he did last year when he got onto the Thunder and people weren't expecting much from the Thunder and they came out and went crazy. This year, they brought the Suns from the Suns didn't make the playoffs last year, right? They were a game off because they went undefeated in the bubble.
8-0 in the bubble.
You bring Chris Paul onto this team and you give a little more development, and now they're a 4 seed. Like I was expecting I think when we were in the party with Brandon, you remember that?
I don't.
So we were in a party super early and we were thinking what are going to be the 8 West teams? And we thought that the Suns could sneak in as a 7 or 8. And right now they're the 4 seed.
They'll be a 4-5 at this rate.
No, yeah. They look great. And so I don't want to give all the credit to Chris Paul. Devin Booker's doing his thing. We thought he should have been an all-star. DeAndre Ayton is doing his thing. And something that is underrated is because last year, coming out of college, he was an average defender in college. Coming into the NBA, he was a bad defender. He could not play defense. He's starting to play at least decent center defense. It's okay center defense.
It'll work.
There's potential for good center defense. He's never going to be Rudy Gobert or anything, but you need your center to play defense. And like you were just whispering, Mikal Bridges is averaging points-wise probably 13, 14?
Yeah.
And he's one of the premier 3-and-D players at such a young age.
Oh yeah, he's super young.
A lot of the big name 3-and-D players are Robert Covington,
Marcus
Smart, PJ Tucker, Danny Green used to be. He's not as reliable anymore. But Mikal Bridges is 20 something? How old is he?
24.
He's 24 and he's locking up, or his assignment is the best player.
Yep.
He's defending the best player, knocking down
14, 5 and 2.
14, 5 and 2, which.
And look,
that's perfect for the Suns. That's so good for the Suns.
42% from 3.
Shoot, that's good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's so perfect for the Suns.
That's what they
need. He could fit on any team.
Yeah. They might win a playoff
and
series.
the Suns happen. No, I think they'll win the playoff series because who's the 5 seed right now in the
Spurs?
West?
They're gonna beat the Spurs.
Yeah, if the season ended today, they're beating the Spurs.
But I think that the Mavericks are gonna pull up right there. Or the Nuggets.
But regardless, that's a series. They could win.
No, it is.
They should win those series.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely deserved.
NBA analysts wouldn't blink at giving Mikal Bridges $100 million contract.
Depending on how long the contract is. Well, it would probably be about 4 years. That's overpaid. Because when you put into a 4-year contract, that's $25 million a year. No, he's not worth that much. But I'd give him a solid $75 million.
For 5 years?
Nah, 75 for 4 years. Maybe $70 million for 4 years.
That's what? 20, 40, 60,
75
that's
divided by 4.
18?
Something like that. Oh my God. Something like that.
I have the worst Wi-Fi ever.
Yeah, 18. I'll give him about 17, 18, just because of how important he is to any team. He could help every team in the league right now.
And I feel like he should stay for D-Book.
I think that this Suns team should stay together. I don't think that it's a championship team unless...
What do they need?
To develop? They have a...
They need a bench center.
They need to bench everything. Who's their best player off the bench?
That one point guard. Who's their guard?
So their best player off the bench is
Cameron Payne.
There you go. Cameron Payne might be their best bench.
Big
Now,
shot
honestly,
stars.
they might be depth away from winning a championship. Because Chris Paul can get you there. Devin Booker
Seems like he can get you there.
can get you there. The
Mikal
thing
Bridges,
is,
big role player.
a lot of what they need is going to be development. Because he's 24, DeAndre Ayton's young, Devin Booker's young. It's hard to say Devin Booker is the best player on a championship team.
Right now, he needs
He needs to develop a little
maybe
bit
2
more.
years.
Couple years, but then Chris Paul's getting old. But Chris Paul doesn't even. He's
Seems
just
like he's getting old.
throwing assists, and his defense is going down a little bit. But that's why you got Mikal Bridges and
Cam Johnson's young too.
Cam Johnson is young.
Yeah, they just need development.
That's really all they need.
I think our bench center too. They had some bot come in one the other day. He sucked. But
No, yeah. Who's their second best big man?
Frank Kaminsky. It wasn't.
I would say Sarge, or Jay Crowder. I guess is a power forward, but he's not a big man.
No, they had someone else come in.
He's more of a forward than a
They had
big
someone
man.
else come in a few days. ago.
What, Abdel Nader?
No. It was some random.
Was it? Etuan Moore? Regardless, the Suns are doing their thing right now. If you have anything else to say about that.
No, they just got to develop, and Warden Bridges is doing his thing on defense. Booker had 43 tonight.
Yeah, against the T-Wolves. Who's even guarding him? Nah, Timberwolves suck. Aren't they the worst in
Malik
the...
Beasley?
They're random? Yeah, Timberwolves are the worst in the whole league right
Why
now.
are you disrespecting Malik Beasley?
Bro, Malik Beasley isn't a starter on any NBA team except maybe the Timberwolves.
He's averaging 20.
Bro, he's on the... You know who averaged 20 last year?
Oh.
The Morris brother. Averaged
dude.
20 on the Knicks. The Morris brother that's
Oh,
on
he
the
didn't
Clippers.
even
right now.
play. So Ricky Rubio or Josh
Okogie. Josh Okogie, Ricky Rubio, Anthony Edwards. They were the ones.
Edwards started at small forward.
They were the ones guarding him. And then off the bench, Jordan McLaughlin, Jalen Noel, Jarrett Culver, Jaden McDaniels, Juancho Hernangomez. Those are the people that were playing against this team right now. And Josh, if you're on a team that has 7 wins, 20 points a game means nothing.
Jay Crowder didn't do shit today.
How much did he play? Wait. Oh my God. 27 minutes, he drops 6 rebounds.
Etuan Moore was 0-3 and 3.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, they have no depth. Etuan Moore should not be getting minutes on this team.
He got 22.
Etuan Moore is not a 20-minute-a-game player.
Frank Kaminsky started. Jay Crowder's off the bench.
They do just need more pieces. But yeah, moving on because we gave them their spotlight. The Mavericks are winning
games.
more than they were. Because what are they on? 1, 2, 3. They're on a 4-game win streak.
They lost to
And
the Sixers down there.
The
buddy.
game against the Trailblazers
They lost to the Sixers
was a
down
tough
there,
game.
buddy. They lost
Oh,
to the
okay.
Sixers down there, buddy.
So they're on a... Well, yeah, then... That was where Embiid went off, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the MVP, best team in the East, like, you can expect to lose that game. But they're putting up... I think they're even right now. Yeah?
Yeah, they are.
Is that accurate? They're even right now. But being that they started off so bad, they're right there. They're still a 9 seed, though, which is rough. But with
They'll climb back.
they have the rest of the season to inch their way up as high as they can.
I think they get 6.
What were they last year? About 6, huh? Because they played the Clippers. Does that mean...
Was that a 3-6 or a 4-5?
No, it's either 3-6 or a 7-2. I think it might have been a 7-2.
It might have been.
Regardless, they're going to be in that situation again where they're going to be a low playoff seed, but they're going to give one of the high playoff seeds a good run. A good run.
I still think they would have beat the Clippers if Porzingis didn't get hurt.
No, the Clippers very well could have been a first-round exit last year. They definitely could have.
Bro, Luka's step back. Oh my
I
God.
think the Mavericks team last year is better than the Mavericks team this year.
Last year?
Yeah.
What's different?
No, just how well they were playing.
Oh.
They didn't make any serious like changes, but last year they were playing better. Last year they weren't in a situation where it's like them being out of the playoffs needing to climb back, if to my memory.
Everybody contributed to this game.
And that's why they won. That's what they need. Tim Hardaway. Yeah, 13 points. They just have a bunch of Josh Richardson isn't playing his role very well. They're gonna move him. Dorian Finney-Smith is okay, but that's the thing. Like they just have a bunch. They have a bunch of good.
They have a bunch of streaky players.
They have a bunch of players who are good, but none of them like they don't fit as a team.
They're streaky. They're
Yeah.
streaky players. Because like one night he'll have like close to 30. The other night he'll have like tonight or last night 12.
Yeah, and then Luka Doncic is probably the only consistent player on that roster.
Yeah. Even Porzingis hasn't been consistent.
Yeah, he's not.
He just keeps getting hurt.
I think that might be what their issue is.
Consistency.
Consistency and fit. Because I don't like their fit. When we were just talking about the Suns, they have a good playmaking defensive point guard that
Oh,
Devin
you're-
Booker's always needed.
Sorry, your boy played.
What? Andre Roberson? 6 points? He's probably locked up, though. I'm going to be honest. I wasn't watching this game. I was doing homework.
I was doing them.
I promise I was doing homework.
What's this fucking old ass fucking man?
He's not even that old. He's 29.
2 steals?
No, he is there for their defense. Andre Roberson is literally a pure defensive player. There was a time where, you know how people guard Ben Simmons on the 3-point line?
Yeah.
That's how they guard Roberson on the 3-point line.
So
They sit back in the paint. What's his career 3-point percentage? 25%. He shoots 25% from 3. And this year he's shooting 20% from 3. So he's a bot.
He's been working on it.
Has he?
No.
Yeah, no, he has. He went from 15% to 20%. That's an upgrade.
Yeah, and it took him fucking 8 years.
No, he's bad, and he's an airball free throw kind of player. That's him. That's who he is.
He had 7 games played last year.
He got injured.
Oh, okay.
That's why he's been sitting out for so long. I think he broke something.
He averages 0.3 blocks this year in his like 2 games.
He just locks people up. But I really don't have much to say about the Mavericks. I think that they're gonna have a okay playoff spot, but I expected so much more for them this season. I expected a lot.
It's just
from
a
them
slow
this season.
start.
Slow start, and like they're not picking it up as fast as they need to. Like they're okay, they're even, they're a 9 seed. That's not good for a team who has Porzingis and Luka Doncic and Josh Richardson and Tim Hardaway Jr. Like
Dorian Finney-Smith.
Dorian Finney-Smith is-
Maxi Kluber the GOAT.
I feel like they should be better than even. They should be better than even.
Yeah, they should be about 4 games, 5 games better.
They should be.
But Porzingis was out at first.
Yeah, no, it'll
like Willie Cauley-Stein was starting. Willie Cauley-Stein
He
is
was.
not the center for Luka Doncic.
He's not the center for many
He's not the center for anybody.
playmakers. He's just a center. I kind of want to move on to that though, because I do like this next topic. Celtics and Lakers are both on a 2-game win streak. Celtics tonight almost lost that 2-game win streak.
Almost lost that 1-game win streak.
Yeah. Let's talk about the Celtics first, and then we'll talk about the Lakers. Who did the Celtics beat? They beat
The Wizards today.
No, but who was the first game? I'm thinking Pacers, but I don't think it was the Pacers. Was it the Pacers?
Yeah, it was the game where Tatum had like 9 points and Kemba had like 31.
Was it?
Yeah, Jason Tatum.
Oh yeah, it was the game that Kemba came back, and I was like, this is his first
real game.
real game after he came back. So they beat the Pacers, and I think a lot of that was due to the other players on the team showing up. Yeah, Kemba Walker. So their 2 main players, Jason Tatum had 9, Jaylen Brown had 15. Those are bad games for both of those players. But then Kemba had 32, Daniel Tice had 17, Robert Williams had 14, Jeff Teague had 14. So a couple of their losses a long time ago, or not a long time ago, but a couple of their losses that we were complaining about is that like Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum had 54 together, and the rest of their team didn't show up. This time they didn't show up, and their team were there to pick them up.
I mean, it's about time. Shit. Jeff Teague.
Yeah.
Jeff Teague had like 20 points the first game, and then probably had like 20 points since then.
Like total.
Yes.
And then tonight
Tonight was kind of just
was a very close game. And I do want to talk about this game, but I'll let you say what you're gonna say.
I wasn't watching. I was actually sleeping, and then I just woke up and I just seen like Jason Tatum hit to the game winner, and I was like, ooh.
So Jason Tatum hit a game winner, like little floater sort of thing. but it definitely was back and forth of Bradley Beal and Jason Tatum in the last, I'd say, minute or two. This game was a Bradley Beal.
This game solidified why Jason Tatum is better than Bradley Beal.
This game did not do that. What? Let me say what I was going to say first. This game was a Bradley Beal slip away from the Celtics being 16 and 18. Since you said something stupid real quick, I just want to hear your explanation for it.
Jason Tatum showed up when his team needed him. Bradley Beal didn't.
Okay, so I'll give you that. Jason Tatum hit the game winner. It was a little.
And he had 3 other shots inside 2 minutes.
It was
two other shots.
Yeah, but Bradley Beal did. I'm trying to differentiate Jason Tatum and Bradley Beal because Bradley Beal was doing the same thing. Jason Tatum hit the game winner. It was a quick little, cute little floater. Bradley Beal thought he was getting fouled. If you've seen the way he looked at the refs, he wasn't getting fouled at all.
On the out of bounds?
Yeah, when he got it in,
and
he was fucking.
Yeah, they inbounded it to Bradley Beal. They trapped him against the baseline. I think it was Tatum and like Javonte Green. Probably.
Something, and then he slipped. His foot went out of bounds. That gave Jason Tatum the opportunity to hit the game winner. And then Bradley Beal had an opportunity. It really was close to going in. He almost.
It was one of those like you
chuck up shots.
You straight up adjust your shot, everything. Like he went like this.
And if there's clips of it, I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
I'll try to put them on screen.
Look why we almost lost. Another little shitty ass third quarter.
Is that but you only went under by 2 points.
Yeah, but we always fuck up in the third quarter.
So your argument that Jason Tatum is better than Bradley Beal being solidified this game is because
he's more clutch.
He's more clutch.
More game winners this year.
Even though Jason Tatum put up 31 and what's his name? Bradley Beal put up 46.
I mean, he has to. He has nobody around him.
Does that mean he's bad? Like, I feel like that means he's good.
Doesn't mean he's bad, but it's just that Tatum doesn't need to put up 40 every night.
But when he was the only person by himself, he wasn't putting up 46.
Who?
Tatum.
Tatum's never been by himself. There's never been a game where Jaylen Brown and Kemba are out when he's playing. Promise.
Yeah, but Bradley Beal had Westbrook.
Yeah.
I feel like that's close. And Bradley, I don't think this game solidified anything. If anything, I say Bradley Beal was a slip away from being solidified better. Like, I'll say this game probably brought Jason Tatum closer, but not even that much closer. Bradley Beal dropped 46 on him. In their head-to-head matchups, right? Because last head-to-head matchup, Jason Tatum dropped 6, and you're like, oh, he had a bad game. You cannot say he had a bad game. He hit the game winner. And Bradley Beal still outperformed him.
Even if he missed a game winner, I would have said he didn't have a bad game.
But Bradley Beal still outperformed him. Like I said, he was a slip. If he didn't slip, Jason Tatum doesn't get the opportunity for the game winner, which we're talking hypotheticals. That's never good, but obviously he's not going to make that same mistake again. He thought he was getting fouled, and he was trying to sell it, really. If you look at it, because he went and then he looked at the refs, which that's dumb on his part, and he almost hit that dumb game winner, but almost isn't good enough. I still think Bradley Beal outperformed him tonight.
That's cool.
If you think the game winner is worth 15 points, obviously it's worth the win. That's an important stat, but I don't think he played better than Bradley Beal tonight.
He didn't play better than him.
So then how did this game solidify him as better?
Because he played better than him when it mattered most.
No, that's true. That's
on
true.
The line.
That's true. I just think that every time they've played, Bradley Beal has outperformed Jason Tatum. And I think that matters when you're talking about head-to-head, because I personally think Bradley Beal is better than Jason Tatum. Josh thinks Jason Tatum is the number 9 player in the league.
Yes.
He's not. I'll let you know right now he's not.
Let's probably put him at 8. No,
You're not serious, are you?
He's still at 9.
This game might have put him at 14. This game might have put him at 13.
He's still at 9.
Yeah, there's no getting that past you. I guess you're stuck on that. I still think Bradley Beal is a better player.
Fuck, look who started tonight.
I think the consensus is that Bradley Beal is a better player. Probably because he is a better player. He dropped 46 tonight and almost hit the game winner. But moving on from that, the Lakers 2-game win streak. So
very good.
I was talking to my dad because My dad is an LA fan, as I've said from when we were talking about football.
But he hates LeBron.
My dad hates LeBron. So because of this, now that LeBron is the only player, or let's go back to the Lakers' 4-game losing streak. Anthony Davis is hurt. Dennis Schroeder's hurt. The second best player on the whole team is probably Montrezl Harrell. So my dad loved the fact that we lost 4 games because it proved that LeBron sucks in his eyes. He's like, oh, LeBron isn't good enough to carry a team.
Which is true.
It's slightly true. But all we got back was Dennis Schroeder, and we've won our last 2 games. So even though we don't have Anthony Davis back, all we have is Dennis Schroeder back. And we're looking, like, honestly, his production is, like, it makes us look like we're playing good basketball. It makes us, like, just that one player makes us look like we're back. Even though Anthony Davis isn't back. It just looks like we're playing good basketball.
To be fair, though,
What's up?
you played the Blazers and the Warriors. The Warriors shot like shit.
The Warriors shot terribly tonight.
Shit.
But you can credit some of that to Dennis Schroeder.
No, yeah, you can.
Even though,
I'm not discrediting Dennis Schroeder.
Can I say?
You know how I feel about Dennis Schroeder.
yeah, you think he's... I'm not even... You're an idiot. Dennis Schroeder was getting sold by the refs, if that's the right terminology. There was a play, and I'll see if I can find it. Curry pump fakes, so Dennis Schroeder jumps, but Dennis Schroeder lands on the floor, puts his hand straight up, and leans backwards. He literally is like this on the contest. Stephen Curry jumped forward, probably 3 feet, forward into Schroeder. Elbow Schroeder in the mouth on the jump shot. That's how far he jumped forward and elbowed him. And they called the foul on Dennis Schroeder. And that was his 3rd foul in the first half. And Curry had how many tonight? He had 16. A good few of those, let me check it real quick. A good few of those were from the free throw line. Dennis Schroeder was locking up Curry until he had to sit out. And then
He still locked him up. He only had 16.
That's what I'm saying.
But well, look, Wiggins Evander had 3 points and 22.
No, and he shot terribly too. Basically what I'm saying is Dennis Schroeder, even if I think tonight he didn't even have a good game. How many points he
He
scored?
had 22 tonight.
22?
Never mind, he had 12. My bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't think he
He
had
had
22.
22 his other game back.
He had
My
22
bad.
on his other game. Dennis Schroeder makes the Lakers a much better team. And even, like we said, he only scored 12 points tonight, which it's not bad, but it's nothing like crazy.
That's 6 people in double digits.
Yeah. Dennis Schroeder is all we needed to start winning games again. When we get Anthony Davis back, it's going to be scary for a lot of these
You guys
NBA
have a
teams.
guy named Devontae Kank?
Devontae Kakak. He got some minutes. So,
Damian Jones.
Devontae Kakak, Kostas Antetokounmpo, Jared Dudley, and Alfonso McKinney were all in the game at the same time. That's how much we were up by. The Lakers were up by...
I watched that part of the game.
Did you? The Lakers were up by so much.
Jared Dudley ran down and shot a pull-up 3.
You seen that?
Yeah, he almost made it, though.
So we were so confident in our win. We
1 point.
put the bottom 5 players in our
1 point, 12.
Alfonso McKinney at 1 point. We put our bottom 5 rotational players in at the exact same time. Garbage time minutes. But it's just good to see the Lakers winning games again. I didn't get, even though we lost 4 games in a row with,
I believe it was 4 or 5, but
I think it was 4. I could be wrong.
I believe it was 4 or 5.
But basically what I'm saying is,
I'm no Laker fan.
I know you guys lost a lot, so it definitely feels good for you guys to start winning games. Let's see.
Especially without Jaylen Brown.
Nets, Heat, Wizards, Jazz. Nets, Heat, Wizards, Jazz. That's 4 games.
Why did it say 4 or 5 then?
Hmm?
Why did it say 4 or 5?
Who said that? Who said that?
Heat, Wizards, Jazz. That is 4.
And then we
On
beat them.
ESPN the other day, it said that you guys are. When did you guys play on ESPN last?
Probably
Maybe against the
Trailblazers.
Jazz, it said 4 or 5.
Maybe.
I don't know. I'm tripping.
Regardless, we're winning games again. Who are we playing next? The Suns.
Ooh.
We should win. We should. We are a better team than them.
Without AD.
But that's what I was gonna say. We're gonna have Montrezl Harrell guarding
DeAndre Ayton.
DeAndre Ayton, which That's a size matchup, and DeAndre Ayton loves those size matchups. Marc Gasol has been terrible for our team, but it might be good because DeAndre Ayton's not mobile. He's not a big, fast center.
No, he's not.
And Marc Gasol is
Not a
the
big, fast
opposite
center.
of
Fast.
fast. So if Marc Gasol can stand still and play defense, he's pretty good. So
He's a solid defender.
he's a solid defender if he doesn't have to move his foot.
Yeah,
But I'll get off of that too.
I am too.
Not on DeAndre Ayton. DeAndre Ayton's fucking you up.
I'll body him.
Unless you have anything else to say about those two games or those two teams.
No.
So something that I wanted to bring up. Let me get back here. Something that I wanted to bring up.
We were, originally I said we should do our top 10 MLB teams going into the season because
Spring training
just started today. So I was like, okay, like this is a decent time to do it. Like there's not really much to talk about, so let's do it. Dickhead gets here and he's like, I need to do more research.
Well, because I don't want to make a top 10 MLB like power rankings coming into the season, like without knowing what I'm saying. Really, like I don't watch much baseball. This next coming up season, I was gonna actually get into baseball, but I want to do some research before we get my top 10, just so I'm at least eligible.
Not a bot.
Not 100% bot. At least a little bit of a bot. So the topic that we replace it with is something that I've been thinking about for a while. The top 4 teams in the NBA right now are Western teams. All right. It takes until the 5th best team to get an East team. And I think it was in the top what? In the top 13 teams?
11.
In the top 11 teams,
There was 3 East.
there was 3 Eastern teams. So that means 8 out of the top 11 teams are West. This is a problem. And we've always talked about, the East is weak, the East is weak. This might be the weakest the East has been.
Since LeBron, huh?
No, since before that. Maybe since the Warriors championships. It might be the weakest East since the Warriors championships. Since like 2014-ish. And the NBA is the only of the top 3 sports that doesn't do their playoffs based off divisions. We do ours off a conference. It's the top 8 teams in each conference. I know this year we're doing a play-in. So I think the 7 and 8 seed play the 9 and 10 seed. I think it's a best of 3, right? It's a best of 3 to get into the playoffs. Now that's cool for the competitive teams at the bottom. But yeah, this graphic right here. Clinched the conference, and then these two are clinched their division or something, and these are all wild card, but or clinched playoffs, something dumb like that. It's just dumb. But basically, I was talking to Josh earlier, and I don't think that we agreed. I think we actually had differing opinions. I think the NBA should switch to divisions, and I told Josh, give me some time, let me think this out, let me think of a format. But I know you don't think we should do divisions. So I want to hear your case for conferences.
So right now there's 16 teams that make it. This year is
16.
going to be 20?
It's going to be 16 teams make the playoffs, but 20 teams are because there's two teams in both conferences that aren't making the playoffs, but they have a chance to win their way in. So it's kind of like 8 teams make the playoffs, and there's 2 wild card teams, sort of.
Excuse me, guys. I'm very tired. But, so right now there's 16 teams that make the playoffs, basically, in a normal year, we'll say. And if you change the format to divisions, you would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams in each... 5 teams in each, what would you call it? For baseball, AL, NL. So you would just say, let's say AL's East and NL's West.
Something like that.
So that would mean that the NL would have the 3 division winners and 2 wildcard teams, and the AL would have 3 division winners and 2 wildcard teams. 10 to 18 is such a huge change that I feel like it would change the game a little too much, and I don't think people would like that.
So this is my rebuttal to that, and this is why I said give me some time. I'm gonna think of a format. So you know how the NFL has, and it's kind of going to be a mix of the NFL and the MLB. So the NFL, the first seed in both, what are they called, leagues? Mm-hmm. The
NFC, AFC.
Yeah, so the first seed in the AFC and the first seed in the NFC, they both get a bye first round. I would implement something like that into this. So right now it would be the Jazz and the Sixers. They get a bye. So that's already two. Here, let me put this down. The Jazz and the Sixers, they both get a bye. All right. And then what I would do after that, because I know the MLB likes their play-in, and the fans, honestly, as I like the play-in too, because there's so many teams that are just out of the playoffs, but they could beat the teams that are making the playoffs. I think they deserve it.
Like last year was.
Last year was the Suns, Trailblazers,
Spurs.
Was it the Spurs? It might have been. But teams like that, the Suns definitely could have made that. Yeah. Regardless. So what I was thinking was, so the top two teams, they get a bye. The next 6 after that which would be the division winners. So it would be Milwaukee, Miami, who else? Lakers, Spurs, and Trailblazers and Nets. Those would be the hosts, right?
So basically the next 2 highest records would be technically division winners, and the top 2.
So
okay,
it would be 2 of the top teams in each conference get a bye. The next 6 after that, which not the next 6, but the top of each division, those are the hosts. And then the ones after that would be the wild cards. Now, there's already 8 there. So what I would do is not every single division gets a wild card, because some of them really don't even deserve a wild card. Charlotte's already going to be a host. That division does not deserve a wild card. So after that, the wild cards would be based off of the records. And the way you could do that is you get 4 wild cards, because there's 6 divisions. You get 4 wild cards, 2 play-in teams. So the 2 play-in teams get to play the bottom 2 wild cards. They all get a spot, and then that would result in an 8 team on each conference. The only difference is, instead of the top 8 in the West and the top 8 in the East, teams like the Hornets probably wouldn't be hosting or be a wild card, but instead teams or conferences like the Pacific has the Lakers, Clippers, and Suns. The Clippers would be a host. The Suns would be a play-in team or / a wild card, depending on their record. And the way that works, the Warriors, if the divisions are different, the Warriors would also get a play-in maybe. Pacific is a division with 4 playoff caliber teams, and then you go to the Southeast Division. They have the Hornets, Hawks, Wizards, Magic, all in the same division.
And the Heat.
Well, I'm saying the Heat.
Shitters.
The Heat kind of deserve playoffs. Charlotte, Hawks, Wizards, Magic, none of them deserve the playoffs. Mm-hmm. But then, like I said, Pacific, Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Warriors, all 4 of those teams deserve. In this case, we would do what MLB and
NFL
do. You get it. So one is NFC, AFC for baseball. It's what? NL, AL. Mm-hmm. Ours would probably be what would it be? National Basketball Conference, NBC. Nah, there's already.
NBC, ABC.
It would be NBC, ABC, but those are both taken. NBL, ABL, National Basketball League, American Basketball League.
You know what baseball did last year? You know they expanded playoffs last year? Mm-hmm. So they basically did basketball. So they had 2
make it, and then
4.
Okay.
6, and then so the first and second place team made it no matter what.
Yeah.
Then the next 2 best records played, or the next 2 best records made it as the 7 and 8 seed. So the 1 played the 8, the 2 played the 7, just like basketball.
Yeah.
They could do that, but at the same time, then the Hornets would host against the
The reason why it looks so bad right now is because of the way the divisions are set.
Hornets would host the Nets.
Right now, the divisions in NBA are completely useless. They only have divisions to sanction off where teams are. So, like Atlantic is Philadelphia, Brooklyn, New York, Boston, Toronto. All those teams are close to the Atlantic Ocean. Central is Milwaukee, Chicago, Indiana, Cleveland, Detroit. Those teams are the center.
Midwest.
Yeah, it's literally right there. Southeast, Miami, Charlotte, Atlanta, Washington, D.C., and Orlando. That's all the Southeast. All that the divisions in the NBA are right now is telling you where the teams are. But it literally means absolutely nothing. Like Pacific, all the California teams in Phoenix. Those are the Pacific teams. Obviously, it would take someone to redo the divisions, but that's not an issue if we get better playoffs for the next however many years until that stops working.
I just feel like people won't like it.
I feel like, okay, the thing is, it's going to be hard to understand at first. It's going to be confusing. But if it's beneficial, then I don't see why not. Because if you look at the NBA standings right now, right? Jazz, Lakers, Clippers, Suns, Spurs, Trailblazers, Nuggets, Warriors. If the NBA ended today, right? I would say all of those teams deserve to make the playoffs. Maybe the Spurs get taken out for the Mavericks. And then
No,
Grizzlies,
the Spurs deserve it for being 17 and 12.
they're 17 and 12. And then the two playing teams right now would be the Mavericks and Grizzlies. Pelicans wouldn't even get to play in.
Thank God.
That's how competitive the West is. If you look at the East, Sixers, Nets, Bucks, right? Those are the top three. The Knicks are the 4 seed, 1 game over 500.
Oh, where'd the ball go? Shit.
The Knicks are 1 game over 500, and they're the 4 seed.
Hell yeah.
The Heat are 500. They're the 5 seed. The Celtics are 500. They're the 6 seed. The Raptors are 500. They're the 7 seed. The Bulls are 15 and 7. They're 2 games
15
negative.
and 7?
Or 15 and 17. They're the 8 seed. Pacers and the Hornets would be the play-in games. They are both 15 and 17. I want you guys to know that for the 8 seed in the East, they would be around the 11 seed. They wouldn't be close to making the playoffs. But for some reason, if the NBA ended today, a 15 and 17 team would make the playoffs. The conferences aren't fair. They're not fair to the good teams that deserve it. That's why I think that divisions need to be implemented. And I think the whole, fans won't like it. No, they won't like it in the first year. They won't be comfortable with it in the first year. But they will be very happy that or maybe not the Pelicans. They will be very happy that the Grizzlies get a chance over the 15 and 17 Bulls, which it is deserved. If you are the Knicks, 18 and 17, and you're the 4 seed, but you would be the 9 seed. The 4 seed in the East would be the 9 seed in the West. You cannot say that that's fair.
It's not. It's not fair. Life's not fair.
But if you can make it fair, why not? If you can implement divisions that fix that, why not?
Email Adam Silver.
I will tell my
homie Adam Silver.
my only real big time NBA is Steve Nash.
Steve Nash has no authority.
That's what I'm saying. He's a good NBA player in his time, a newly NBA coach. How do I get it to Adam Silver, bro? Maybe when they do their
Just find his cash app.
when they do their coaches meeting, maybe I'll tell Steve Nash to invite me. Because I think
Let me join up.
I think the
Drop the Zoom code.
I think the vice commissioner or whatever that
What
dude
is that?
the dude who does the second round of the draft.
Does anybody know who that is?
I think he goes to that, so maybe I could get in there. But if you understand where I'm coming from, divisions should be implemented. We've been doing conferences for so long, it just doesn't make sense. Do you know why conferences in the NBA were the reason why we set up playoffs?
No.
So, story time. When the NBA was first made, there wasn't much money. Like the MLB had been going on for a while. The NFL had been going on for a while. There's a ton of fans. Basketball was a new market. The reasons why they had all the East over here and all the West over here, and that's the way they did their playoffs, is because they couldn't afford plane trips. If they wanted to do divisions, they would need more money for the plane trips. And we've been going off of that logic that they made back way back then
Fucking slavery was a thing.
due to the budget of not being able to afford plane trips for NBA teams. Obviously, that is not an issue anymore. We can afford plane trips for these NBA players. So why are we still using that old formula for playoffs? It doesn't work anymore. It's not fair anymore, and it's not logical. And the NBA is all about making money. You would make more money if better teams made the playoffs. And that's just facts. If there's more competition in the playoffs, there's more views in the playoffs. True or untrue?
True.
So regardless of how uncomfortable it would be for the first couple seasons, it should happen. MLB has been doing it for forever. NFL's been doing it for forever. Basketball's playing on an 80-year-old playoff bracket,
Hell yeah.
which was made because there wasn't enough money. Like, I'm sure the WNBA could afford divisions. I think the
I don't know,
WNBA could
they
afford
got to pay
divisions.
their players $100K a year.
Bro, it's like a $1,000 plane trip. You let the WNBA players ride coach or something.
Yeah. But anyways, guys.
I think that wraps it up.
Yeah, that's gonna wrap it up for today. Please like and subscribe.
Leave a comment on what you think. Obviously, today was all NBA. Some of our other sport fans wouldn't watch all the way this far. But if you watched this far, let us know what you think they should do about playoffs.
Top 10 video for MLB teams going into 2021 coming on Thursday.
I think that's it.
That's it. See you later.
We'll see you guys Wednesday.
If I make it through the ring light, can I get like $1?
I'll give you $1. Go. That's $1 in your pocket.